Hi, I'm Craig. I'm a second year student. I'm placement, so I just got back from my placement in October. So I'm going into the third year now. I'm on a 4-year course and we do 2 work placements. The first work placement after the first year and then the second placement after a year and a half after that one. I think a big thing about anthropology, it's not textbook, you don't just read and it's just not academic. You have to go away and apply what you're learning, and what you learn in your first year gives you the foundations to your degree. So for me, I went to Nepal, and what I learned in my first year, I could actually apply in the field. I could actually see kinship, caste, and if you're reading a book, it's a bit dusty and a bit boring and you're a bit tired, but when you actually see and you're living there, it's an amazing experience. So having that also in your CV, it makes you step above most people because you're willing to give up 6 months of your life to go away and travel and experience them. And basically a placement degree, you get to travel and do a degree at the same time. So even if you don't do a gap year, you get that experience as well. I did my placement in Nepal between June and October. So I left as soon as my first year was over. Basically, the reason I chose Nepal is because within where I work, there was a member of staff that was Nepali, and she said to me, why don't you go and stay with my family? So a lot of it is you find people around campus. The university is such a multicultural society, and you will meet people that will say, oh, why don't you go to somewhere I've been, or why don't you go and stay with my family? So I chose Nepal mainly because it was a security thing for my parents who would worry about me traveling across the world. It was the first time I ever went to Asia. And that was the main reasons why I chose to go to Nepal. Also, it was very diverse and very different to the UK, and that's what I was looking for in a placement. I was there for 4 months, for just under 3 months. I worked for a small NGO, a non-government organisation. We volunteered within monasteries, orphanages, dental camps in rural villages. We actually organised a dental camp that ran over the summer, and we got Colgate to sponsor us. So it was actually getting involved with locals, so I did a lot of that. I also lived with a Nepali family for the whole 4 months and joined in with lots of the festivals, actually travelling across the country on a bus for 24 hours to join in on one festival. It's a good experience. I think the major aspect of doing a placement with anthropology is that you actually apply what you're learning, and actually when you come back to the UK, you can see what you're reading in a book in a total different way. So you draw from your own experiences. You will necessarily be the first time away for 3 months, and you'll grow as an individual. You'll have an understanding of the culture that you're living in. And for me, living in a rural village, pumping water and walking 1.5 miles for dinner, and is a big culture shock, but you do grow as a person, and if that's where you want to go, anthropology with a work placement is a great degree. I have the confidence enough to go abroad on my own, and you'll learn a lot of independence. Coming to a university in Freshers Week, you're kind of just pushed in there, so when you choose to go on a placement, you do grow that confidence. So doing a placement kind of gives you a good direction for the future. I would say just take the risks, because you haven't really got much to lose. You'll learn more than you will if you stay on just a 3-year course, and go anywhere, experience the world within your degree. Go to somewhere that you totally think you wouldn't have ever gone in your life, because we only have one chance, and why don't you do it now? I think a major deciding factor for me to come to Brunel was the placement, because I've come from a very academic background, straight from GCSEs to A-levels. I didn't want to go on a gap year because I didn't want to waste another year. So to have that chance to have a placement, to actually have a step above other people when we go into the real world with our CVs, you've kind of been able to add your degree, a gap year in one, and actually get a head start with your CV.